Welcome to the Fishbowl Radio, everybody. My name is Chief here, and joining me today is Juicy and Caleb here. He's going to join us again for a week two edition here of LSU football preview. We're talking about LSU taking on Louisiana Tech at Tiger Stadium, but we're also going to recap what we saw last night in the fake Death Valley of Clemson. Uh, what do y'all think about the game, Juicy?
Oh well, for sure, the one thing that stood out was definitely the defense. The linebackers, Blake Baker, just kept coming after Cade Klubenik. I can't get his name right half the time. He kept coming after him, blitzed him a bunch of times, made him feel uncomfortable, off balance all night. The rush DD defense only gave up 31 yards total rush offense. So the defense that was pretty good. I mean, LSU, considering the defenses they had the past few years, Harold Perkins wasn't like didn't have huge stats, but Harold Perkins had a lot of quarterback pressures and was after him all night. So that was a thing I like to see, that he can get a little bit more involved in the game, but he's still a threat. A lot of offenses are still planning around him apparently, but as for the offense, it did look kind of stagnant. They had almost 400 total yards of offense, though, so I wouldn't say it was like a bad night. They just drove the ball down and just couldn't quite capitalize on some opportunities they had. But they did have their touchdown called back, which we know was a touchdown, but that's a different story for another day. But so there should at least been another touchdown on the board. But I mean, definitely the offense. I mean, the O line I thought held up. Nussmar only got sacked one time, so I thought the O line did fairly well considering the defensive line and the defensive talent that Clemson has. So that was my thoughts. I mean, overall, I'd give it like a. If I had to give it a grade, though, I'd give it like a B.
Caleb, your thoughts?
Yeah, just kind of mirroring what Juicy had to say. I'm going to start with the offense. So like the offense did look a little stagnant, but the offensive line was definitely a lot better than what we anticipated it to be. The rushing game looked a lot better. Offensive line was able to keep Nussmeier up. You know, the wide receivers made plays when they needed to. Tight ends made plays. And as far as the defense, I mean, having AJ Halsey in the second half, I mean, really, it made a huge difference. I mean, we shut out Clemson in the second half. That was kind of the big thing, and I can't remember that the cornerback's name, but he that transfer, but man, he was out there on an island by himself most of the night, and he looks like a first round pick. This LSU defense is the real deal this year. Very much improved, and I was very impressed with the play calling Blake Baker, had. So kudos to Brian Kelly for finally getting the proverbial monkey off the back and winning a week one game in a good dominating fashion. Scoreboard didn't show it, but the play did.
LSU's defense, it reminded me of an early 2010s LSU defense. Like they kind of play with a little bit of a swagger to them that I haven't seen in years at LSU, like maybe 2019, early 2010, like those kind of defenses that they had out
Those
there at
Les
LSU.
Miles defenses they
More like
had.
a
Yeah,
vintage LSU defense. What they like, I mean, like they haven't had that in a couple of years there. Kept Klubnik off balance all night long. He never could get in the rhythm too much there. Aside from like Nuss struggled, I would say, like didn't really get into, let's say, like the first half. He didn't really gel well with the way the game was going, but he really picked up in the second half, and that's all you can really ask of him there here.
yeah,
Um,
he did enough.
Caden
He did enough
Durham,
to stay ahead in the game.
yeah, Caden Durham, he got him a rushing touchdown.
Looks
Um,
like he's definitely number one
yeah, he's looking like he's gonna be
workhorse.
the RB1 for sure for LSU here. He's going to be their back there. Varian Brown, he
Oh, he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Trey Green with that way he boxed out and for that second touchdown
Well,
catch.
it's easy for him to box
he
somebody out when
he's
you're
a
six foot
basketball
seven.
player.
When you're 6'7", you can box anybody out.
He does have
That
some
was
basketball.
man, that was phenomenal play. Phenomenal by both Trey Green and oh, we just talked about him. I can't remember his name. The wide
Darian Brown.
receiver, Darian Brown. There you go, man. That was that's
So
that should have been a touchdown. That was
I
an insane catch. Nice throw by
Yeah,
nothing.
I did mention that callback touchdown. That was
so I want to bring that up. I'm glad UC brought that up here because I saw another game that I think is very related to the LSU one where that a South Carolina receiver who caught the ball in the end zone. He took 3 or 4 steps, and on his fifth step, as he's falling to the ground, he's starting to lose control of the ball a little bit. Do we need to revisit that rule? In my opinion,
Absolutely.
I think we need to because at some like they're like, okay, make a football move. Well, that's a very like
I mean,
just
isn't taking a step
what
considered a
like
football?
it's too much of a like opinionated like this is what a football move is. I mean, if you
I
ask a
I
casual
always
person,
thought they had to go to the ground, but I thought they'd
Well,
like complete the process of the catch and go to
okay.
the ground with it or
of the
whatever.
process of a catch could define a bunch of different things, though. If you're breaking the
Yeah.
plane with the ball in your hand
Well,
and you're falling out of bounds with the ball, the play should be dead when you pass that
True.
the
I
goal
mean, if
line.
you step out of
But
bounds or
break the
cross
plane.
over
If
the
you break
boundary
the plane and the
line,
ball's in your hand, if you break the plane, the ball's in your hand, that's a touchdown.
yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, for
The
fumbles,
play
it
should be
counts.
dead
Like when
right
the running
there.
back, like when the running backs or receivers are running the ball, then they drop the ball, but they cross the goal line, and yeah, it would be considered a fumble normally, but it's a touchdown because they broke the plane. So I see what you're saying. It should apply the same way. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
to
it
me, it
would
seems
make it
like the yeah. To me, it just seems like the rule there needs it's too abstract. There needs to be
If you
better
make a
definition.
foot, I see what Chief is saying though. If you make a football move after you
Yeah.
catch the ball in the end zone and you make a football move, even though you don't hold it all the way to the ground, it's still a catch because they rule it a catch and fumble when like in the field
Yeah.
of play, like when they go to review
Yeah.
it. So
yeah.
I completely agree with what Chief is saying. What I'm trying to say is that every conference officiating crew and every crew themselves, every conference officiating crew will interpret the rules differently if there's not like a universal guideline. Okay, this is what the rule says. This is
I do
what needs.
think their opinions are. It's more
Yeah,
the referee's discretion
all
per se.
relative. They all interpret the rules. Every conference and every conference officiating crew interprets the rules differently. It's all relative.
Well, so the South Carolina one that I want to bring up was this guy took 4 or 5 steps. I
Yeah,
mean, he had control going to the ground. The moment he hits the ground, the ball pops out
yeah.
and it's
So
considered incomplete. This dude just took 4 or 5 steps. What else more do you want him to do?
but,
I
but by
mean,
the rules, that's a touchdown. You know,
And the
same
analyst
thing
said that should have been a
carrying Brown.
touchdown. But yeah, like whenever
I think even the head of officiating, who they the official or the executive, whatever the high up official what they like talk to like tell to get their opinion on. I think he even said it was a catch too.
yeah, and like across the board, that kind of needs to be a thing. I think at certain points, like if you're if you're in the end zone, like the Barry Brown situation, you're 1 or 2 steps away.
If
You
your
ain't got
feet
enough
come
time to make a
down,
football move.
if to me, if your feet come down in the end zone and you have control of the ball before you lose control and you hit the ground and then you lose control, it should just be a catch. I mean, you made a football move.
And to me, if you want to make it more fair, make it like the NFL rules. Apply the NFL rules to it, and then there should be no doubts about it.
Yeah, it would be easier for them to transition from college to NFL anyway.
Like the 1 foot, like the 1 foot in bounds, they only gotta have 1 foot in, and not like the NFL, they need to just make it
Just make
universal
it.
if they want to get all this money and NIL and NFL money like they in the NFL. They may as well make all the same rules and treat it more like the minor leagues.
Yeah. All right. So I I think that it's something that we kind of need to kind of like look at a little bit more in the off season or whatever because it's just
You're going to see
obvious
a lot more
touchdowns.
of it. It's just week one. You're going to see a lot
Yeah.
more of it.
I mean, it's some people are gonna lose a game because of that, and it's gonna be like,
Oh, yeah,
the
it's
whole
going to
like
cause controversy later on in the season.
It'll
so
cost
Absolutely.
somebody a playoff game or a national championship. Then it's really going to take the spotlight.
yeah, that's whenever you're gonna start seeing everybody get upset and everything else because all the NI like because there's so much money involved in college athletics, even more now than it's ever been. So
Yes, sir.
that's something we're gonna have to go look at here as we continue ahead here. So let's talk about Louisiana Tech for a little bit here. Kind of keep this like a little bit of 5 minutes here. Like I mean, it's not much here. Um,
Yeah, I got you.
LSU coming off that win. Do they overlook Louisiana Tech? You think, Juicy?
I, honestly, I don't think so. They don't really have a history of doing that too much. I don't see no reason why they would. I mean, I know anything can happen, and they've had a couple of close calls with Louisiana Tech over the past several years. I know, like the 24-13 game, and they've had some relatively close games, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see how they have Florida, so I mean, you could maybe consider it a trap game if you want to attach a label to it. But me personally, I don't think they're gonna have any issues with Louisiana Tech. I think they'll be all right. I mean, maybe in the first half, if anything, but they'll definitely pull away at some point during the game.
Caleb, what you think?
Yeah, I kind of agreeing with Juicy here. Like, I mean, you can't really. They've had some close calls in the past, but with Florida coming up, but you could consider it a trap game. But considering this is the home opener, like there's going to be a lot of hype around. It's the home opener in Baton Rouge and stuff like that. So
It's
I
Saturday
don't
night
really
in Death Valley, all this good
Saturday
stuff.
night in Death Valley. I don't really see too much of having too many issues with La Tech, and they should
They are like 37.5 point favorites over
yeah,
La Tech.
they should put this one away. By halftime it should be pretty much over. So if they play up
So,
to expectations.
so kind of like looking ahead to the like positional rankings and stuff. I know it's only one game being played, but Louisiana Tech is 114th in offense and 53rd on total defense.
Who did they
Entering
play
this
last week? I didn't even go look.
game. And LSU, looking at their stats here. LSU's 80th in offense and 48th on defense. Now, granted, they did play against Clemson, who was a top five opponent for the top. So, I mean, different varying degrees of like,
The quality of opponents is not quite the same.
yeah.
No,
Um,
definitely.
so that is something to look.
Who did Louisiana Tech play last week? I didn't even go look.
So, Louisiana Tech, they played against Southeastern Louisiana, and they won that
Oh,
one 24-0.
And they
Or
struggled against
Southeastern.
Southeast Louisiana. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
good.
So, um, let's get down to pick some top 25 games here. But before we get
That's
into that
good.
here, let's pick LSU and Louisiana Tech. I'm going with LSU. I think it should be a win for the Tigers. Give me a 28-point win for LSU. What you think, Juicy?
ooh, that's kind of conservative. I'm gonna go with LSU. I'm gonna say this is gonna be like one of them 42-point wins or something, 45-point wins.
What you think, Caleb?
We're gonna split the gap. I'll say 35.
Fair enough.
That's fair. All right. Let me start at the top and work my way down here. Baylor taking on number 17 SMU on the CW. Um, I got I got Baylor pulling the win against SMU. What you think, Juicy?
Are you? You must be reading my mind, buddy, because I got an upset. That was an upset pick. I was going to go with Baylor also.
What you thinking, Caleb?
Yeah, Baylor needs a bounce back game after Auburn put a beat down on them last week. So I'm gonna take Baylor in this one too.
All right. FIU taking on number 2 Penn State. I got the Nittany Lions winning this one. Juicy, who you got?
I got Penn State.
Caleb?
Yeah, Penn State. It shouldn't be an issue for them either.
Number 11 Illinois taking on Duke. I got the give me the Fighting Illini. What you thinking, Juicy?
I got Illinois, but I don't believe it's going to be. I believe it's going to be a closer game than what any of us could think of. Illinois pulls this one out.
What you thinking, Caleb?
Yeah, Illinois should win this game pretty easily. Duke's not the same since Mike Elko. They don't look the same since Mike Elko left. It just I don't know. There's just something off about them.
Iowa taking on number 16 Iowa State.
The Cyhawks.
And
I was about to say the
yeah,
Cyhawk.
yeah. I'm gonna go with an upset. Give me Iowa. What you thinking, Juicy?
Uh, no, man, I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna go with Iowa State.
Okay. What you thinking, Caleb?
I'm going with Chief. I'm picking Iowa. I've always had a soft spot for the Hawkeyes. I love their color scheme. I love their offense. It's gritty.
I've
It's
seen their
dirty.
stadium before, but it's not enough to convince me to
But it's
pick
just
them.
it's Kirk Ferentz. You never bet against Kirk Ferentz
True,
unless
I
they're playing
guess.
like Ohio State or somebody like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna take Iowa in this one. Pull the upset.
Kennesaw State taking number 23 Indiana. Give me Indiana. What you thinking, Juicy?
I got the Hoosiers.
What you thinking, Caleb?
The Hoosiers should win this one easily. Shouldn't be an issue.
Kent State taking on number 24 Texas Tech here in Lubbock. I got the Red Raiders. What you thinking, Juicy?
I was actually impressed with the Red Raiders how they won last week. I'm gonna go with the Red Raiders.
Caleb, what you got?
It's easy to be impressed with a team that spends $25 million on their roster, but yeah, give me the Red Raiders.
Hey, it's legal.
Hey, look, Nick Saban said it. You could pay 25, 30, or $40 million. If you pick the wrong guys, you're gonna be shit out of luck.
That's true. He said that on live
True.
TV too.
It's a very, very valid point, Keith.
All right. San Jose State taking on number 7 Texas. I was not impressed with Arch Manning at all in that first game here. Um, I got Texas winning this one, but I don't know. There might be some changing of the guard going on this year. The SEC might be in a different spot than we might be thinking it's been. What you thinking, Juicy?
Man, look, I know Arch didn't look good. Granted, it was his first like full legit season start, and it was against Matt Patricia, who's a pretty great defensive coordinator. We seem to
Yeah,
forget,
he
and who was
definitely
also Ohio State's
deserves
defensive
that.
coordinator. So, I mean, I think Arch Manning's gonna be all right, honestly. I mean, that was a tough in Columbus against Matt Patricia defense. So I think Texas will bounce back and win this one pretty easily, actually.
They
What you thinking,
should.
Caleb?
Yeah, kind of mirroring what Juicy said. Matt Patricia threw a lot of different looks at Arch Manning's. It's an NFL. He's bringing an NFL type defense, and he's changing the look post snap. Compared, and then his first start on the road. Both his starts were at home last year, but Texas should bounce back and win this game.
Not
Arch will
like
be
Ohio
fine.
State blew them out or nothing.
No, but I mean they did hold them to 7 points. But I mean Arch will be fine. Texas will be
Mm.
fine. They'll win this one pretty easily.
East Texas A&M taking on number 14 Florida State. I got Florida State winning this one. What you thinking, Juicy?
Oh yeah, I got Florida State, man. I was impressed. We all picked Alabama to win. I was impressed. I'll go with Florida State.
What you thinking, Caleb?
Yeah, Florida State should win this one easily, and maybe Florida State is back this year again. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out at some point. Utah State taking on number 19 Texas A&M. I got A&M winning this one. What you thinking, Juicy?
Yeah, I got A&M.
What you thinking, Caleb?
Yeah, fighting Elko shouldn't have any problem with this game either.
All right. Austin P taking on number 4 Georgia. Austin P is gonna lose this game. Give me number 4 Georgia. What you thinking, Juicy?
I got Uga. Ooh, 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 ooh. I got Georgia.
Let's go, Georgia. What you thinking, Caleb?
Georgia could easily win this game with their freshman squad. When are they going to? They should be playing a real game soon.
Yeah, eventually. ETSU taking on number 22 Tennessee. I got Tennessee winning this game. What you thinking, Juicy?
I got Tennessee.
What you thinking, Caleb?
Yeah, Tennessee should win. They looked pretty good last week too. So
Grambling taking on number 1 Ohio State. If this was a battle of the bands, I would pick Grambling to beat the Ohio State University's band. But this is we're playing a football game, so give me Ohio State. What you thinking, Juicy?
Mirror what you said, man. If we would just band versus band, it's Grambling all day. But I got Ohio State. But I do think the band's gonna steal the be the star of the show for Grambling though.
What you think, Caleb?
yeah, it's a win for Ohio State. Grambling's getting paid an awful lot of money to get beat up, and the band should be the highlight of the game.
Number 20 Ole Miss taking on Kentucky. First
Ooh,
SEC
conference
game.
matchup.
Yeah, really early. So I got Ole Miss winning this one. What you thinking, Juicy?
I got Ole Miss as well. I mean, it's hard to measure how well or how good they done when they beat uh some nothing team like 63 to nothing last week. So I can't really say if they good or bad, but I think Ole Miss will beat Kentucky, but you never know. It's early in the season. I mean, Kentucky, anything can happen, but I think Ole Miss will win it.
Yeah,
What you think, Caleb?
yeah, I'm gonna pick Ole Miss as well. I mean, like you said, they beat whoever 63 to nothing last week, but Kentucky struggled. They did not look good offensively or defensively. Like, it's gonna be a long season for them.
Oklahoma State taking on number 6 Oregon. Oregon's favored by 28 and a half. Oof.
Yeah,
Give me
Oklahoma State
Oregon.
has fell off a lot though.
Yeah,
Wow,
I got Oregon winning this one. What you think, Juicy?
fighting mullets.
I got Oregon as well.
Caleb, what you got?
Yeah, the Ducks should take care of business. They'll probably cover the spread easily.
Troy taking on number 8 Clemson. I picked this game in my Louisiana Raging Cajun preview. We do the Sun Belt teams, and I had Clemson going. I'm not going to change it here with this episode going right here. I got Clemson winning this one. What you think, Juicy?
I got Clemson as well. I think Clemson have a nice bounce back win.
What you think, Caleb?
Yeah, Clemson should bounce back and win this game easily. Now, Troy is one of the better teams in the Sun Belt, but they're not talented enough to beat Clemson.
South Florida taking on the 13 Florida. I got Florida winning this one. What you think, Juicy?
Oh man, I seen South Florida's beat down on Boise State last week. It's still fresh in my mind.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Oh man,
I think Napier is going to be able to handle South Florida.
I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go with Florida, but man, that Boise State loss is fresh in my mind still.
I don't know. I feel like Boise State was
Yeah,
just put
but
because of their what like they had Genty last year. Who knew how good Genty was last year, right? Who knew?
True.
What you think, Caleb?
yeah, I mean, this is an interesting game. South Florida's quarterback, he's lights out, but like you said, Boise State is not Florida, so I'll take the fighting Billy Napiers in this one. It should be. I think it's going to be a closer game than what they're anticipating, though.
I can see that. Cal Poly take on number 25 Utah. I got Utah winning this one. What you think, Juicy?
Utah.
Caleb?
Yeah, I'll take the running Utes in this one. It shouldn't be any issue for them.
All right. Bethune Cookman taking on number 5 Miami. Did y'all see that touchdown catch? Former LSU wide receiver. I got Miami winning this one. What you think, Juicy?
Yeah, I got Miami as well. I liked how they looked against Notre Dame. Of course, it's hard to tell who's good, who's not week
Yeah,
one, but
Carson. Yep.
based off of what I've seen, I like Miami.
What you think, Caleb?
Yeah, I'll take Miami as well. Carson Beck was obviously not Cam Wharton talent wise, but his veteran leadership was definitely very much needed for Miami, and he actually looked pretty good. But yeah, I'll take Miami in this one. It shouldn't be an issue.
South Carolina State taking on number 10 South Carolina. Give me the Gamecocks. What you think, Juicy?
I like the Gamecocks. Give me Lenore Sellers and the Gamecocks.
What you think, Caleb?
I got to be specific because both these schools are Gamecocks, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'll take the South Carolina USC Gamecocks.
Number 12, Arizona State taking on Mississippi State here. This is a very interesting matchup here. Uh, give me Arizona State. What you think of Juicy?
Yeah, I'll go Arizona State with you on that one.
Caleb, who you got?
Yeah, Arizona State's probably a little more talented, all around on the roster. I'll take Arizona State, but it's probably going to be a closer game than what everybody thinks it is.
UOM taking on
Adams.
Alabama, ranked number 21. Big drop for Alabama this week here. Alabama did not look good against Florida State.
Yeah.
I got Alabama winning this one against UOM, though. What you think, Juicy?
Well, there's a little bit of history with this ULM Alabama stuff back when they beat them in
You want to
'07 or
bring up
something.
oh
But
07?
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
oh
bringing up
seven.
some closed wounds. But
Yours
no,
is
I got Alabama. But I
digging
got
deep.
Alabama winning this game.
What you think, Caleb?
Yeah, should be a nice bounce back win for Alabama, and kudos to Juicy for digging deep tonight in his stat sheets.
In the last game we're picking tonight, because we already picked LSU, Louisiana Tech. Um, number 15, Michigan, taking on number 18, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, that's where
Oh,
college game day is going too.
I have Oklahoma winning this one. What you think, Juicy?
As in honor of our good friend Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. I got Michigan gonna win this game
Man, he was perfect his last.
because Bryce Underwood looked really good too.
What you think, Caleb?
I'm going actually to agree with Juicy this time. I'm picking Michigan to win this game. Bryce Underwood looked
Okay.
fantastic. That Michigan defense looked pretty good too. And yeah, John Mateer, even though he broke Baker's record, it just goes to show he had to throw the ball a lot because the defense couldn't make a stop. So I'm gonna pick Michigan in this game, but I think it's gonna be like a 3-point game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a very close one as well here. So we all pick LSU beat Louisiana Tech. It should be a very fun weekend of college football. So, anything y'all want to say before